Good afternoon, everybody. I've got more fun for you today. My normal tech nemesis who comes out with wrong information is now back with something a little bit different. Today, Andrew is crying. He's complaining and he's whining about tech things that annoy him. Most of this is because he doesn't know, once again, what he's talking about. To give you an example of exactly how he seems in his blog, just imagine this. Alright? So that is basically what he's got for you today. Now, the first thing that he notices is that high gloss displays are like mirrors, and he talked about this back when he was comparing the MacBook Air versus Ultrabooks, and he said that the MacBook Air had a high gloss screen. Ultrabooks did not. But if Ultrabooks don't, then why is he bitching about all these? And I did something quick. I pulled up a MacBook Pro, and I pulled up a non-Mac machine. So just one of each platform, just the first two that I clicked on each website, and as you can see, one right here gives you an option to have a anti-glare screen, and the other one, this one here, mentions nothing whatsoever about high gloss, shiny, mirror-like, makes Andrew cry, cue baby kind of screen. So let's move on to the next one. Thank you again, by the way, Andrew. I was out of ideas for the week. No DVD extras on streaming movies. You know, and I just had this conversation yesterday with somebody. I was downloading Captain America on iTunes, and he said, does that have the extras? And I said, no, it doesn't. And he says, well, you should watch them. And I said, I don't really care. I don't watch them anyway. I can count on one hand the amount of times that I have watched all the extras on a DVD. I don't particularly care. Now, when you are buying Blu-ray movies, what's the price? When you download them, what's the price? I just downloaded Captain America, purchased it on iTunes in HD for $20. I have never seen a Blu-ray, new, top-end, brand new Blu-ray movie for $20. So, is it conceivable to say that the reason why you don't get the extras is because you're paying a discounted price? Is there a reason why you don't get a top-end sports car when you pay $20,000 for a Kia? Probably less than that even. You get what you pay for. You go to Netflix at $8 a month, you're not going to get the same thing as if you pay $30 for the full 1080p bells and whistles, which the $30 for the movie will give you a Blu-ray movie, a DVD movie, and downloadable streaming movie, more often than not. So you have these options. But you want to take the scaled down, slimmed down, easy approach, you're not going to get everything. This is what happens. According to Numbnuts, it's hard to tell which side of a USB cable is the right side up. Now, I have two. One's a Belkin, one's a GE brand. And you'll notice, see the little USB symbol on both of them? Flip them around, and one says GE and one says Belkin. Here's the other thing. See the little white piece? If you look on the other side, there's a white piece. And obviously, white piece to white piece. No worky. So you got to make sure you flip it around. In the event you can't, doesn't work, oh, or you see which side is up by looking right here. Very, very simple. So, case in point, there are very clear markings on it. They're there for that reason. You want to plug USB in, USB symbol on top. That's why that's there. Jackass. He complains that OLED screens are unnatural, and that CRTs brought better colors out, and in OLEDs, the reds are too red and the blues are too blue, and he likes the high-def intraplane switching displays on TVs and smartphones and things, and quantum dots may be the future. You know, honestly, there's not a lot of displays out there that are using all OLED. I mean, there's a variety of displays out there. People in TVs, for example, are not using all OLED, not at those prices. And there are lots of things you can do to adjust that. You don't like your reds too red or your blues too blue, you can edit all those things down and bring down your levels. Truthfully, if you just spent $3,000 on a TV, something gigantic and brand new, that's a little bit high, let's say $2,000 on a TV, and you don't like the way the colors are, one, jump into those menus yourself and work that out. Two, if you don't want to do it, and this is all predicated on the idea that you got a couple of grand to drop on a TV. Do you know for $200, Best Buy will come out with a device, one that costs them $10,000. They'll plug it into the port on your TV. They'll have access to a whole bunch of menus that your remote won't get there. And they will calibrate your TV according to light and shadow and where it sits and all kinds of things. Room colors that'll change the overall look and glow of the TV. They'll do all of that for life, which means if you move, or you move your TV, or you seal that window, or you repaint the room, or your eyes change, or any other number of things that I just can't think of at the moment, you call them up. Remember when I paid you $200 for a lifetime thing? Why, yes, we do. Can you come back and fix it? Why, yes, we can. Does it cost any money? No, that's what lifetime guarantee means. So, for $200 on top of the $2,000, you've got a perfectly calibrated TV, and you get to sit and watch it as they do it. That way you can have it fine-tuned just for you. So it's not OLED. It's manufacturers, and it's the way things are built in certain pictures, and you can have it all changed to your liking. Why bitch about a fantastic technology when you have not taken the time to make it work for you? Because once again, as always, you're a jackass. You've never seen a simple backup solution, and according to you, that must mean that they just don't exist. Just because you haven't seen it, Mr. Wizard, doesn't mean it's not out there. There's only one case on planet Earth where lack of evidence is proof that it doesn't exist, and that's when we talk about intelligent editors at Retrevo. Other than that, there are things out there that you just may not know about, as we prove week after week. Backup solutions are one of those. There's All My Data, Dropbox, and SugarSync, some of the bigger ones, and then the one that I use specifically called CrashPlan. $50 per year, unlimited data. So that big 1 terabyte that you think is such an amazing amount of data, we're all in awe of your 1 terabyte. Compensating for something? Not a lot. Anybody with $89 and access to a Walmart can have a 1 terabyte hard drive. Not impressive. So you plug that into your computer, you click on CrashPlan, pay them your $50, they give you some software, select your volume, the drive that you want to back up, and you click go, walk away, get a cup of coffee. And when you come back, everything's safe and sound. It does it automatically and incrementally as things change. Nothing to worry about. Very, very simple. But for a simpleton like you, simple things are often quite difficult. That's why there's people like me to explain it to the jackasses like you. Moving along. Speaking of you being just not the brightest bulb in the chandelier, brightest crayon in the box, sharpest knife in the drawer, or any other analogous cliche to you being stupid, Gmail's hard to use? What? Gmail hard to use? It is the easiest webmail program ever. Ever. It is so simple. You say that you can't make folders. Well, go on the left-hand side where your folders are, scroll to the bottom, click New Folder, type in a fucking name, hit Enter, you've got a folder. Now you take all your stuff on the right-hand side, click it, drag it into that new folder, you've got stuff in that folder. Pretty simple. You say it's also hard to distinguish how to reply. Who would put the icons as clickable links way down at the bottom for replying forward? You know what that box way down at the bottom is? It's the reply box. Click in the box and fucking start typing a message. What's so hard about this? You can click the forward button because people don't forward things that often. That's why that can be subdued. Reply is more common. I get an email. Andrew sent me an email. Reply, you're an idiot. It's pretty simple. Or you can take this thing here. There's a keyboard, okay? And go ahead and hit that letter, doing it backwards. Hit the letter R for reply, and it'll create a reply for you. Or if that's not good enough, look at this. That's a shortcut sheet. That has every letter shortcut. Whatever button you hit on that column there will do exactly what it says in the description next to it. Super simple. Get it the fuck together. You work for a technology company. E-ink displays are not black and white. He says, try holding a book up next to an e-reel like the Amazon Kindle and tell me that it's not more dark gray on light gray than it is black on white. Of course it is. Two big reasons for that. One, supposed to be. Two, has to be. Let's talk about why. It has to be. This is not a screen. It's not LCD, LED screens. It's not a monitor. It's a little magnetized, ionized kind of thing. It's basically a 21st century Etch-a-Sketch. When you hit the button, all the little particles line up in the forms of letters, or in the cases of illiterate people, pictures. There you go. And then you read, or you look, or you point and say, that's pretty. And then you move on with your day onto the next page. That's the way it works. Plus, you complained about super glossy things creating glare. What do you think black text on a bright white screen is going to do in the sun? Yeah? You got that light bulb? That 20-watt light bulb? Turns on? All right, buddy. Next one. So what you see here is just my iPhone. It's being broadcast onto my iMac using something called Air Server, but it is obviously an iPhone, as you see, swiping across and things of that nature. So you said you can't actually delete music while you are not at your computer. But watch this. I'm going to go ahead and launch music, of course. And here it comes. And let's just go into all my songs. Scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. Here's everything, right? All of my songs. Very obviously, this is my iPhone. So let's say I have a couple different things, and I want to delete. Oh, look, I actually have cleaning out my closet twice. Don't know why. Let's go ahead and get rid of one. I'm going to swipe across. Delete button pops up. I click that delete button, and sure enough, one's gone. Now, explain to me why you can't delete things directly from your iPhone, because I have no idea what you're talking about. There you have it. And consequently, the last one. You don't like slideshows on websites. You find them annoying. Well, there's two kinds. There's the kind that has like a little JavaScript light box at the bottom, and you click, and it just scrolls through all the pictures. This is typically something like Mashable, let's say. The new iPhone has blah, 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 blah. And then we hit the buttons, and we scroll through the pictures of blah, 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 blah. Bunch of pictures about one topic. That makes sense. What you don't like is when you click and then it goes to whole page refreshes, click, new picture, new page, click, new picture, new page. You don't like that. But what if it's very different? What if we're talking about all the people at the Oscars, right, on the red carpet? We've got this girl and this guy and this girl and this guy back and forth walking down. You're not going to write up a whole article about all 15 things and make people read about all 15 things before they see any of these 15 things. What you're going to do is you're going to have a little blurb and a picture. Next. Little blurb and a picture. Next. Little blurb and a picture. Next. You see the pattern that we're forming here? You read, you look, you go to the next one. How does this not make sense to you? So that's really about everything. That's Andrew's stupidity for the week. Once again, people, email me with questions. Tell me. Let me know what you need to know. Don't go to him. He's so dumb. Save yourself the hassle. Save me the blood pressure points. So if you have any questions, let me know. I'm here to help. I will talk to you soon.